Disney's live-action Snow White remake isn't very good. I know, that's a shocker, but it is vibrant, colorful, full of songs, old and new. It stays very close to the 1937 animated film in its visual references, like the iconic huntsman shadow over Snow White, or the turtle making a lovely reappearance. It gets the classic Disney remake expanded lore treatment with unnecessary side characters, a main plot and character that is boring, and a one-note villain lacking the charisma to pull off an evil witch obsessed with vanity. The film faced a ton of setbacks, some deserved and some quite ridiculous, from the 7 dwarfs being changed to magical creatures back to whatever the fuck this is. The actors stay in the movie though, but then are sidelined to a different set of characters that now feel very out of place, with the CGI dwarfs taking their place. And looking back at 1937 Snow White, that film is iconic for its visuals and not for the story. Apart from the dwarfs and the animals, the human characters in the film are as one-noted as it gets. They feel like blank sheets of paper. With this remake, the focus moves from them actually onto Snow White, who was more of a passenger in that original film. Now, does that work? Not really. It's essentially a story that wants to loop back around. It starts with everyone being happy without a single problem in the world, and then the evil queen makes everything horrible, and we want to return back to when everything was perfect. The common through line, Snow White's goodness and everyone loving her. Problem being, Snow White remains as uninteresting as ever. It wants to pose as a story about leadership, but it never gets out of the stage that's just feeling like we're playing dress up. Rachel Zegler works fine. I've had a certain problem with her acting style before that I can only describe as stage-like. It often feels like she's glaring off to nowhere. I always get the feeling that she's thinking about being perceived by an audience as well. It's probably a me issue, but I just never see anything authentic in her characters. Let me know if I'm crazy for that take, but I will praise her incredible singing voice in these unfortunately painfully mid songs. Zegler is a true love's kiss that wakes up the slumbering movie every now and then. Let's talk about Gal Gadot. She's truly horrible in this. Not that the script does her any favors. She has just a laughable and cringy scene after another. It legitimately is a Razzie level performance. Also found it hilarious that Snow White is somehow more political than Brave New World. It's about how to govern, a misuse of power just because he can. It's almost like the conflict with Zegler and Gadot on set about a real life conflict. Anyways, he's not a hot take for you. The CGI dwarfs could have been a lot worse. Do they look good? No. Will they haunt you in your nightmares? Probably, but there's a long list of that anyways in this film, including Gal Gadot's singing. But the dwarfs aren't in the film as much as I'd hoped for. They were the definitive highlight of the 1937 animated film, with someone like Bashful hiding behind his beard and Doc stammering through his words, which is replaced with a fact-dumping, information overload blabber character that has somehow become all too common as a gag in blockbuster movies. These live-action remakes also lack that spark in the musical numbers. Just look at how they butchered the sequences in The Lion King, and Snow White is no different. The best part for sure are the bright colors and the costumes and production design, but everything else, from the actual music to the staging and the blocking, is often so boring that I wish the scenes were over before they really had begun. This whole ordeal with live-action remakes is incredibly self-indulgent, and I don't think they succeed in justifying the existence with a more modern approach that they try to take. Snow White never had a great story to begin with, so trying to expand it while holding on to its core, but then also trying to shift the core so it's all about leadership instead of blind love and a prince who saves the damsel in distress, while still having the exact same one-note evil queen, feels lazy. What's leadership if the other side is so clearly just evil that there's really nothing to actually represent other than the opposition to evil? It's boring. So I was very underwhelmed by Snow White. Let me know what you thought of the film, and if you are more optimistic about the Lilo and Stitch and How to Train Your Dragon live action remakes. I'm giving Snow White a 3 out of 10. Subscribe for more reviews, and I'll see you soon. I'll be fine, right?